through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am.
Good day. Welcome to AYI Training Center. I'm Emery Lukombo. I will be discussing about Microsoft Excel 2019 on video 2. So on this video, we'll discuss more about insert tab. As well, we'll discuss about some few formula and the first project of the video courses where we will describe how data journalists use Excel to do statistics for any information that they get. I'm gonna go to Excel. The first thing I do, open Excel. When I open Excel, I'm gonna go to File and New Blank. Now I'm gonna discuss first about insert tab. Now the insert tab. So the first thing when you open insert tab, what do you view? You find a pivot table. What a pivot table? The pivot table, it's one of the tools that allowed you to arrange and summarize the complex data. You may have a huge information and you just need some data on the table, and then you will use the pivot table. Now I'm gonna go to another document. I have table. So what I'm gonna do now here, I'm gonna highlight this. When you highlight and you go to insert table and you click the table, and then now you can create a table and you say okay. Now I create a table. You can see there's one column free. I can just delete it. So I'm gonna click here and right click and delete it. Maybe I just need the civil console. I just want to print maybe a chart for this part. I can highlight this particular area and then go to insert and then apply the chart, which I will discuss soon. But now I may make a mistake. Now the best way, I will pivot the table. I'm gonna highlight this, the entire table. I'm gonna go pivot table, and there's gonna pick up all everything in the table. It's the first thing, it says select the data range. So this is the range that I selected on the table, and the second one use as an external data source. In the case like I don't have a table here, I don't have, like I can come here, say choose, and I'm gonna go outside and go choose a block of information data, like a table or a range of information in another file, maybe another Excel or network, everything. But because I'm using my inside, I must make sure I keep the select a range because I'm in the same sheet. And then the exit now here. Now this will be the result after I exit. If I leave this to a new worksheet, it will create a new worksheet automatically, which means I will have sheet 2 appear here around here. But if I say in existing sheet, so I will put in the same sheet. So I'll click the existing worksheet, and then I'll click here, and then I'll choose the area. I can choose here or here, any place, but I'll click somewhere here so that it must be close to my existing one. And if I say okay, then this is what you get. Now I only need some specific, like education. I'm gonna click department. I can say I want the department to be on the columns, on the row, depending on you. Currently the department are in, if you look at here, in the columns. So I may say let me put it on the row. I'll put it on the row. Now it's gonna come on the row. And then secondly, I can say I got here, I got the result of 2019 and 2020, and then the change that happening. I can say no, I only need to take the 2019. So I'll take 2019, I'll put it in the column. So when you drag like this, you will see here it shows me this one, but doesn't look nice. What I'll do now here, I can slowly remove this one. I can say remove the field, and then I say no, bring this thing on the columns as the way is it on the original. Then when I pull in, I say okay, I want maybe the 2019 to be on the row. Now there's a thing, doesn't look nice, but mostly because if you look at the this one, it even shows properly where to put the value. Because if you look at these are the value. So the best way on the value, I will put this one because 2019 you got the value. I'll put on the value side. You see how it look. It gives you the order now here. Another way, I can even bring this department on the row side and then change and make it easy for you. Now on this case here, if you look at here, the original table have the full information data, but the pivot table allowed me to pivot some specific part on the table. Like in the case here, I can put this department on the filter it. I'll drag, hold and drag, put in the filtering. Then you see now here, I can control this. I can say no, I just want maybe the conceal only, and I say okay. So I only have a conceal. And then if you look at the sum of 2019 of conceal is 1000. So I can also say okay, I also want the 2020. I'm gonna go take 2020 year 2020, put inside here. And then you see I got the two sum of 2020 and 21. In the company you will have like the whole row is full of information. Now in case that you want to give the boss the information, they want to ask you now, because there's a full table, I can't print this table. I can pivot this table and then come here by pivot table. If I click here, click a pivot table, and then it's come here and put my department on the filtering, and then come by filtering and just choose department education. Of this I can put department on the row, put like this to display that everything now here. But if I put it in the filtering, I'm on choosing the area. So now that's the purpose of this one. So you can balance this. I can put this thing on the row, put this on the row, and leave this on the filter, change this one. I can say I just need this and I also need the change. I can go also put a change to see how much change will make, and then I'll come here. I can see everything what happening here. So if you look at here, we have everything like similarly, but there's no percent column. But I can say, but if I need a filtering, I just put like this and then choose what I have. Now, if I finish, let's say I just need a department education, I'll come here by filtering, put a education department, and they say okay, and it gives us all the results. Then from here, I can close this one here and highlight this, and then go to a page layout, and then set it as a printer. So when I go to file and then print, I only pick up that area. So when I print this one, I give to my boss. Say let's say it was the money that the company make or we spend. So we spend this money or 650,000 on 2019, and on 2020 we spend this money, and they change that to we make between 2 years this one. So which means we spend much money on 2019 and 2020 we save. So now that's a benefit for pivot table. I'm gonna repeat the pivot table again. I'm gonna go back, so highlight. I'm gonna go to insert pivot table, but on this case I'm gonna choose a new worksheet. This was the same existing sheet, but I'm gonna go to new worksheet. If I say okay, automatically you see here I have sheet 1, that's the original, and I have a sheet 2. Now the sheet 2 now give me everything on the pivot table. So from here I can decide I only want the department, because that's where the things I'll put it on the row side, and I just want the percent, how much percent 2020 columns, how much money we spend 2020 for everything. Now to avoid confusion, I'll put this thing the column, so like a location. So what happened here, I only print 1 year. I don't have 2020. If you look at my original, we have 2019, every 2020, but I only want to print only 1 year. What happened 1 year for all the department. So from here, I can close here, then I can come here and go file and print my boss, say boss, on the 2020, we spend this money on the all the department. This is like government, because most of the department are what for the government department. So if I go back, and then if I want to print a chart, I can just highlight this. I'm gonna go back to insert and then choose a chart, and then print a chart, as you can see here. Now that's a benefit for pivot table. So the pivot table on insert, it's allowed you to pivot the table. Now the other one, recommended table. The recommended table, mostly when you highlight like this, what it does, if you click recommended pivot table, it's gonna give you a positions, like it really give you the best way to pivot this table. You must choose this category. The row must be the column or the what everything. And if I say okay, it's gonna give me already the order. You can see here it create a new sheet 3 and give me order, because the no recommended one, if I go to insert one, this one, it's when I wanna pack my stuff the way I want it. I can say the year must be on the column, and then the average must be here, or this must be on the filtering, and this must be, that is the, and when I choose. Now the table in Excel, it's very easy. So what all you need to do, when you tap something, let's say I type Monday, a date and numbers, but unfortunately it's not in the table. So in order for me to have this in table, I must highlight the entire group and come here to table, click the table, and the table will give me automatically, and then you click OK and then make it as a table. Then that is a table. So that's how I fit table. And most of the table you see come with it just come with a filtering. One of the parts I didn't discuss on the last video. If you go to home, where I say that I'm going to discuss about a filter and sort out on this video. So the filter, so if I come here, I can click here and then remove a section, like I don't row number 1. So I'll come here and I say remove number 1, and then that's gonna go out. Now it's hide the entire row. So I can come on, so I say I don't want a new number, maybe number 7. I click here, and that's a bit of filtering. So in another way, the filtering, it allowed you to control some part that you want to display. And you see now here what follow up here, it's the is illustration. I'm gonna jump these two parts, this group of illustration, and add and I'll go straight to the chart, just discuss about the chart. Now what is a chart? As discussed in the previous video, mostly use Excel to do statistic and also parent chart. If someone asks me this group of table, if I print this, it's gonna confuse people to read. But if I come and highlight this table and then go to recommended chart, any place where you see recommended, it's like the system will give you the recommended way to present that easily. But once you remove out of recommended, now you choose your own way. So on the other way, if I click recommended, it's gonna help me to choose a chart that can look that thing better. So what I'll do now, I can choose any chart here, which is I think will be good for people to understand. So if I click like this one, it sounds better, and I say okay, and then this chart will appear here. Now there's a chart. So put your mouse on here and then drag it. So what the chart does, I can print the chart, or I can print the table and put maybe on the table, give to a boss or to any people to read. Now the chart will be much easier someone to understand what's going on, because when you look at the table show the government department budget. I need to read education department, they spend 6,000 rand. Now another way, it's difficult for me to read because I want to see in which department that the government spend much money, and then it's difficult, but the chart simplified, because when I look at in the chart here, we got education department, and then we got the policy department, then we got years, we got 2019, 2020 and change. Now 2019 it's represented in blue, and 2020 it's present in orange, and then the change it's present in gray. I can look at this chart, I can see we spend much money in education department and that in 2019, but in 2020 we spend more money in road department, which is, you can see the orange, it's higher than the other. So in another way, it simplifies this table to read easily, because it's not a year I need to read the numbers and remember which big number, which month, which year, and which department that spend more money. But in the chart, it's simplified. I just need to look at the representing color and the numbers and the names. So this, now I'm gonna go back to insert. Now on this case, I'll highlight this. I want to present the chart of this one. I'll highlight like this, and when I go to chart here, now you can choose any one here, but you see sometimes you're not gonna get accurate way. Look at now here, if I choose here, the way it's presenting me my chart, it shows you I can choose any one on 3D and then show if how it will look. Now in the case if I choose like this one, it shows that it's not gonna look, it's gonna confuse people to understand what I'm trying to say here. But if you look at this, it shows some change from different what. So now that's a different. I can come choose here, try another group here, and compare. Now all this chart will be different used on different papers depending on what you're printing. If you do mathematics or whatever, you will choose any of this group of chart. I can come here and choose like this one you see also getting different forms. Now that's the difference between the recommended one. But if I come to recommended one, it's going to allow me to propose me this is the best chart for your table or your information. I can come here and look at what the system recommend me. You say if you want to represent this, use this. Another way, you will mostly use recommended chart because it's going to simplify your chart compared to choosing one. But in the case like here, I don't see anything look similar to what I want. Maybe depends on what you want to, how you want to present it, because you have to make sure that your chart is easy for people to read, to understand what you're trying to say, because you're trying to show people what's happening between Monday to Sunday about the company or about the business or about the government. I made some change in each of the columns. Now if I highlight this now here to go print a chart, you will see there will be a different chart. The recommended chart now, it shows different chart, and then it represents me very nice because it's not linear anymore. Let's say I choose this one here, and then you see now this shows me what went change on this, like on 14 row, but unfortunately there's nothing shows this is row, what this row, that way it pick up the number. In the case if I add here, I add the column, put a title like this was maybe chicken. So to clear table, whenever I highlight a table, I'm gonna, you see the display here, I can come here and then say resize the table. So if you look at here, it say SQ4, which is the first one here. It's this column here. This is the first column, and the last one SQS18. We are in the Q and then the row 18. So this is a dollar, a number 18, the row 18, and then the Q. So this is this cell. So mostly we have this cell to this cell, which I discuss soon. So what I'll do now here, I'm gonna go change. I want J, so I'll come here and replace this K to J, and then it's gonna pick up this, and I'll say okay, and this will become part of the table. Now my table, I include this one. From here, if I highlight this, here I can write item, maybe items sold, and highlight this. After I highlight this, I'm gonna go to insert, and then I say recommended chart. You see now that shows me on the chicken. How do you set chicken on Monday? Monday there's a color here, meat, pork, chicken, so everything. When I finish, I say okay, and then there's the chart. Now from here it's a little bit small, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Put your mouse on the where you see there's a round area. Once you move your mouse here, you see the cursor change. Hold and drag, then you will have this. And when you see there's a cross, and hold and drag. A chicken, this is a pork and chicken. On the pork here, we only sell more pork on Wednesday because it has the highest bar. This is a purpose of chart. So the pivot chart is the same thing as a pivot table. Another way, here when I highlight this here, I can pivot the table. But if I don't want to pivot the table, I want to show this information in the chart. But I don't want to show everything, because if I choose recommended chart here, it's giving me everything in the chart, like a department, education, everything here. I just want to show a chart that show education and then the money spent on that one. So there's a two-way. I can highlight like this and choose a recommended chart. I only going to pick up that particularly like a pie, and it shows me on 2010, on 2010 change and percent. So education department will spend more money on 2020 on 2019, but less money on the 2010, and the change and the percent it's used, like we save more on between the 2 years. Otherwise I can do like this, highlight the department, press Ctrl and highlight the fire department, as well highlight the health department, and then when I finish recommended, so I will have health and then fire. So I'm trying to show like the government did not spend much money on the health department. That's why we have more fire. Maybe if I select it like this, maybe choose any nice one here. So from here, if I say okay, there's a chart, I'm showing the comparison between them. So it showed that the fire department, there was on 2010, both on 20, health and fire department on 2019, there was a huge. But the easiest way to do that, I can just highlight here. When I highlight this, I'm now going to insert and then use a pivot chart. So pivot chart, if I say pivot chart, it will give me the same procedure we did on a pivot table, but here we just not display the pivot table. So I'm gonna say a new worksheet. So I'm going to create a new worksheet because now I've got a lot of things here. So I'm going to say go to a new worksheet, and I go in a new worksheet. Then I say I just want a department. I put department to okay, put it here on the category, and then I'm going to put a year on the value. And now look what I get here. Let me put here on there. Now this is a chart that I get. Doesn't give me a real chart, and put the image here. Now I get a chart. Now it must be, now this is how it become confusion whenever you use on the columns. Now it gave me all a good chart. Now I'll put 2020 also here, and then I have 2 years of everything now here. Then I can come if I want to put them in filtering. So I'm gonna take my department and put in the filtering. So from here I can choose, I can come here and then here, or maybe just choose one, cancel, say okay, then I have one only. I can come here by filtering and I say health only on department health. I can come here by filtering, say this. I can press Control on my key button, education, and filtering. Or I can sort of do like this, come here. Let's say I can close this. So if I want it back to make some change, I'll click twice, then I'll click. So if I come there by plus here, I can say I don't want to view the data, I don't want to view data table, or everything. You can manage here, which I'll discuss again on another. Because most of the video will use charts, so I will discuss this deeper on the other coming video. Now so far I'm gonna go to a project now here. So please watch the next video to understand how to use illustration and also how to use this slide, timeline, line, column, everything in Excel, and the question as well, the add in where we can add we can add extra to command in Excel that does not exist in Excel. Now that will be discussed in next video. I'm gonna open a new sheet, but on this new sheet, on this project, we also want to cover the formula tab. I'm gonna explain how to create this table. So the first thing I will do here is to explain to you. So on this case here, firstly you must understand that in Excel, whenever you do calculation, a division, you will use the symbol, as you can see here, the bar symbol, and then in the multiplication we will use a star, and then the addition we use a symbol of plus as normal. The subtraction will use a symbol of negative. Another way, if you have put like here, I can put 1 and I put 5. So if you wanna get the answer 5 plus 1, you need to go to another cell. So you put equal to this cell plus this cell. So you can read this cell. This cell it's an N, and then if I look at it's in column N and also in row 8. Another way, you can just click your cell and look at the name box. You see here it's N8. So this is N8. If I click here, this is going to be O8. In the formula, you don't use like 1 plus 5. It's going to be wrong in Excel. You're using the cell. Maybe like we sell maybe bread. We sell 1 bread on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we sell 5 bread. So we have this. I'm going to highlight this. That's why you must watch video 1. How much bread we sell on Monday, Tuesday, so between the 2 days. So I come here. Now, anything when it comes to calculation in Excel, you must use equal. So first click equal. Then there's a 2-way. I can write this one, which is N8, this cell. I'm gonna put N8, or just put a plus, or just click the cell. I'm just click here, click, automatically it's not right for me, and I press enter. It's 6. Now if I change this number here, if I put 10, I press enter and answer start change. Now that's a benefit for Excel. If you click twice, you can so check your formula. It shows me the blue here, the N8 represent this number, and then the O8 represent this one. So I can still make a modification if I make a mistake. Let's say I want to take also this here, maybe I put 5 here. I want to add this, and I'll come here, right click, I will come here and put plus and this. Click here and say 5. Now 20. Now if I click here, it shows me where did I get these numbers. Now that is a calculation. Now the same way in subtraction, I just need to go click here and replace the symbol, and I say this is negative. So 10 minus 5, and I just want to put here negative, and I say enter, we get 0. 10 minus 5 minus 5, we get 0. So if I say plus here, plus 5, plus there, you get 10. Now that's how you do the calculation, like a normal way you do a calculation. So I'm not doing division. So division, I can say 10. Then I'll use a symbol, divide by maybe this by 5 equal to 2. That's the multiplication. So I can also do the multiplication. I put say 10, which is the row in cell non N8, and I use the star symbol, which is a multiplication, multiplied by number 5 is equal to 50. Now that's how to use a symbol. I believe you understand this as a calculation. If I highlight this, I'm just going to clear everything and create this table. So what I did now here, whenever you open any sheet in the Excel, I'm going to click plus, I highlight a group, and then merge it as discussed in the preview. Please watch your video 1. And I'm going to tap and then highlight this, and I put the background of that color you see there is blue, and then I put my weight, I make it bigger and make it in the center. As I say in the beginning, make sure you choose your page, because if you're going to print them, you must make sure, like if I come to view here, I put like this, not go over the page. So I can see now here, I need this to go back that side, because I can click here, right click, and then delete this. Now I know I can also delete this. I know my stuff is going to be on there. I can highlight this and merge and chill this side. I'm going to be in the center of my table. So I can go back to my normal view. So this is the head. I can just highlight again, highlight this group. Just merge the whole line, because merge it, make it one cell. And I paste it, and I have government budget. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy everything. Just to show that you can tap. In your case, you have to tap it. So on my case, I can just come here, say department, and then I'll come to the second cell, put 2019. That's what I did now here. So please, just to make my page look in the center. Now I can just add, right click, insert. Insert means add a new column. I add a new column there. Now I centralize my stuff, because now that's how I have the percent now. Now I'm gonna continue now here. I'm gonna go back to normal view, and then I'm gonna go back to my now. This, what I did, I just tap this education department, fire department. So I'm not gonna tap it, I just gonna copy everything. Alright, click copy. I'm gonna go to sheet 2, I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, they're not fitting. Can you see this out? I'm gonna click twice here and fit it. Now that's what I did now here. I call this the budget department. So in a real life, please make sure you do investigation. Go read information online, search for Department of Government, and get the proper money they spend on this year, like the way I did here. Go to sheet 2, that's what I did now. You just paste here. And then as I say, preview, if you see this thing, it means the cell is too small, so open your cell so to fit your large numbers. That I did for the budget. So now I'm gonna go back to see the government. The government revenue, that's how much government make in a year on the 2 years. I'm gonna go back to the sheet 1. I will highlight this, merge this, and copy and paste. But please, on your case, you're gonna have to tap this. So okay. Now the reason why I can see here does not fit, because my size here and this is small and this is bigger. So what I'll do now here, this is 11, 14, 11, 11, 11, 11. So let me highlight this and make it a little bit bigger, 14, and I'll click here to fit it. Now it went out. Now I still have a gap here. I'm just going to minimize this gap here so you can come back inside. Now this is fit because everyone are 14. Okay, I'll make them 14 as the top one, and then I'm going to centralize them. Then I'll click here to fit properly, even this one, and then I'll highlight because they are see 11, and this one I'll put it in the corner like this, but this we put it in the center. Okay, now the count of the department. So you can count how many department you have in the block. You can count the maximum, which department that we spend more money, and which department we spend less money, and the total. Now there's a two-way. You can, when you go to formula, as discussed in the preview, we'll cover some formula part. If I go to formula, the first group of formula are the auto system. So how this work? So all I need to do, like if I come here, like if you come to the end, mostly if you come to the end of the block like here, it mostly work at the end of the last row of the numbers. If I click here, then I click the auto sum, and I'm gonna put a sum. Now automatically system will select everything from the top and then give you the, and press enter, and then give you the auto sum. Now the same thing with the other. I can delete this formula. I just click inside, and I'm gonna go to the first group, and I'll go to average. If I click the average, and it give me the average. And as well, if I remove this one, I just click, so you don't need to put equal. I put, and then I'll go to auto sum, and I put the count of numbers, and I press OK. So what it does is counting the number of how many numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the reason why it's in rand is because my cell it's set on rand. If you go to home, I can change this to number, and then now it's not necessary. If I change to number, then you're gonna have like this. So but I can leave it so far like this. And then on the same group, I'm gonna click again, and I'm gonna go to formula, and then I'll come here, and then I'll choose a maximum. So, and then I pick up the maximum money. If you look at here, all of this, the 650,000 is bigger than the rest balance. And if again I click here, and I come, so all this group, minimum, maximum, are mostly work automatically. You can also go to more functions, and need to click and then choose on the auto sum. That's the first group. Now the second group, this will be discussing in a different way, like this, the recently used, the financially formulas, the logical, the text, the date and time, and the look up and reference, met and trigger, and more functions. So we'll discuss some of them on the coming video, as we saw in the first video. So what now, when you come to here, I cannot use this. If I click here and I click average, it's not gonna work. So the auto sum only work at the last column or last row. Like if I come here, click here, the auto sum will work. If I say sum total, it's not work, because why? It's closer to the last cell of your datas. But if I click out of this, it's not gonna work, because why? There is a gap, nothing will work. So this only would work at the end, or somewhere like this place. It's gonna work for me. Yes, no work, yes, no work, yes, no work. But When I'm out of these columns, it's not gonna work. So in this case, I want to calculate the number of all these, how many departments. I want to make sure how many departments I'm calculating now here. And say equal, and I'm gonna write count C, and then I'm gonna check it because the counter start by C, and check it until when I find count. There's a count, and I click twice. Now it's gonna give me a comma. If you look at the formula, it shows use vola 1, and then semicolon, and a vola 2, and a semicolon, and all these things. So which means I can plug this in. First vola, semicolon, and then second vola, semicolon, and third vola, semicolon, and then fourth vola, semicolon, and then I continue like this, and the last vola. So what you do, you must close your bracket, because if you don't close the bracket, they get faulty. But because I tap it, if I press enter, the system knows will add that bracket by me. But in the case you are tapping from scratch, you have to put your bracket like this, and you press enter, then you get the number, how many number departments there. To see if you make a mistake, let's say like if I remove 1 here, I got 7. But if I can count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I can see there's a mistake here. So click here, and then come see here. You're gonna see where you make a mistake. Maybe I make a mistake. 1, C9, C. You can check your columns. Your column can see. I don't have C15, and you can even see it shows you all the one that in the formula are highlighted, but this one is not highlighted. So I need to come here to fix it. Click here at the end. Even from here, I can even go to formula bar, click here and put my semicolon, and then tap the last one, which is C15, and then the system will be fixed automatically, and press enter, then you get the result. But another way, you can so use a short way, because this is can get confused. So what I'll do now here, I'll delete all this, and I will use the range one. The first one, I was using a semicolon, but if I use the range one, I will use a colon, and then I will choose the last one. So I choose the first one, colon, and the last one. Automatically the system will read all of them. If I click this one as the last one, it's not gonna read this one. Or I can even write it, put colon and write C15. Then it's pick up everything. I can come here. This one, I'm going to use the first one, which is I'm going to say equal maximum. I want to find out among these department, which department spend more money than other in 2019. So I'm going to come here, say equal max, and I click maximum, and then I'm just going to click, the first one, semicolon, the third one, semicolon, fourth, semicolon, and finish. Then I'll close the bracket and press enter. Now there's a difference. The reason why we use this in the case like the other number, let's say I also want to include this one and include of this here, so I can solve continue from here. I can put semicolon and then come get this one, and then semicolon, and then come get this one, and then semicolon, and then come get this one. Now press enter. If I click here, I check my formula bar, I have everything. Now if I use the colon one, the one that the last one, it's not gonna work, because other numbers on this maximum are in this side. But this one only work when the numbers are in range. Like when this, if you look at this, these are in order, there's no gap between them. That's why I use C8 to C50. But in the case if I want to use I want to calculate the number, I want to count the number from this and in another place, like maybe this side I got other number here, then I'm not going to be able to calculate, because what I need to do now, I need to use now this one, use this formula. So you only use this formula when you have separate areas of numbers. You want to count or calculate separate area. But once your numbers are in range, I prefer to use this one because it's short. You can't make a mistake. You can double check, because in this one you can make a mistake by forgetting one of these, especially if you don't double check. You can get the wrong measurement, because if one cell miss on the formula, you're gonna get the wrong measurement. I'm gonna say equal minimum, I can even come here, just take your mouse here, hold here and drag down, finish. Automatically the system will put everything C8 colon to C15. So the first one is C8 cell, and then the last one is C15, and let's press enter, then the formula finish. The same thing with total. I will say equal. Now here I need a sum, so I say equal to sum. Find for me the sum. I'm gonna click twice of all these numbers. So I'll just click my mouse on top and drag, hold and drag down and press enter. Now that's that of everything. Now another way to do that, you can come here, say equal to this plus this plus this plus this. No, the other one first. This plus this, and I press enter. Now you see I got the same. But now the difference that I can make a mistake with this one, because if I forget to put one cell here like this, enter, it might be wrong. That's where the auto sum it become important when you come to this. But in the case I was adding a money from this group, another group, I can't use the auto sum. Let's say like this one. I also want to add this and this from other department, maybe here, sport maybe, and then department maybe, the budget. Now I want to add this month to this total here, so I cannot use the sum at the C colon CA because it's one group, but I have to use this one. I will come here, I will use this, then I will come here, say plus this plus and this. Let's say enter. Then this is not work. Plus this here. So if I click here, the formula bar shows you who and who is not in the formula. You can see this and this, all of these are in the formula, except this not in the formula. Now that shows here I already make a mistake, because this will miss and I'll get, maybe I can say plus the remaining part, and there's a total of this department plus this department. Now that's the addition. The same thing with subtraction, and the only thing I need to do is to write a negative symbol for each places. Now if I'm just gonna do like this, I'm gonna delete this again. Another way you can do like this, you can do sum, you open the bracket, sum of this group, close, plus sum of this, close, plus sum of this. If you make a mistake, you will not get the result. Now that's a result for everything other than. Now you can also do, that's another way. Another way you can do like this, I can just say equal to sum. I'll click the sum formula, I'll click this, colon, semicolon, another one, semicolon, another one, semicolon, another one, semicolon, another one. And then press enter, and that's the entire sum. So now you can use all those different formula, the sum or the C plus C9 plus C2 plus this, or the sum of one group plus the sum of another group. Now that's additions. In Excel, mostly when you do the calculation, we only do one side and we apply it in the other side, especially when dealing with a table. So in this case, I'll click here and I just now put my mouse here and drag here. Automatically it's not count on this side. The same way I'll come here, I'll just now put my mouse and drag here, and now this maximum is for this year 2019, but this maximum is for 2020. And I'm gonna go check the minimum. I'm gonna drag here, hold and drag, and the minimum of this year they spend is 123, which is a civil council. So and then I'll come here, I'm also gonna drag the same thing. Okay, this is the budget as discussed in the beginning, budget, and this is the revenue of the government. So what I do now here, I can just copy this, just click here and paste it. So from here, I'm just gonna do the same thing. We want the count of the department. I'm gonna say equal count I'm just gonna use the easy one, drag, enter. The same thing, I'm gonna come here, equal maximum, drag, enter. I'm gonna come here again and say equal minimum, drag, enter. And I will come here, I'll say equal sum, enter. Now I'm gonna come here, click here, and just, you see your mouse change, then you hold and drag, hold and drag, hold and drag. Now so far here I have everything. Now as discussed previously, because as a journalist, all you want here, you want to make sure you get the different. So I'm gonna look for the change. Maybe let's say there's a new president. Among these 2 years, which year that the government did better job? From there, I can judge to say, no, yes, the reason why you perform on this year because you have the best leadership. So I will come here and I will say equal. I will use this change. I'm gonna use a negative, and I say equal. If it was additions, I'll just gonna click positive here. But because I need a change, the change I have to see how much change, which I have to subtract. How much change that? So the change between this and this one. So on the budget, I'm trying to see now here, with the past year and the new year, which year do you lose money or save? In this case, I can say we save about 300-400. If we have a negative and we lost money, but when you get positive, we save money. The reason why we save money because on 2019 we spend 650,000 in Department of Education, but on 2020 we spent 303,336 36 rand. Now that shows that on 2020 there is less spend, and then on 2019 there's more spend. Now it's a good year. The government, we did well. Everything depends also on what accomplishment. So if I come here, let's discuss preview. I don't need to repeat this, like to say like this is equal. Click the cell that you want inside, and then subtract to this one, and then I get the same formula. But this is waste of time, because in Excel, as I said preview, you just need to do the first formula, and the last one just click on the bar and drag and apply all over. Now this is show us which department and what department will lose and will gain money. Now that's how Excel help a journalist to debate, because from here I can prove now here. It's because look at now here, when X was last year 2019, it only spent 650,000, but to this year, because of a new leader, spend only half of the money, because we even save more than what we spent last year. That shows us there's something wrong in leadership. Now this is how they create discussion. Now Excel help you to create a statistic that can allow you to debate and discuss questions. Like here I can say now here, the fire department, last year the fire department spent 56,000, but this year 563. So there is so the government or the department lost 27,000 compared to last year, because this is a budget. Budget means we're spending money, we're buying stuff. So this is a loss when it comes to any department or a country, because we want positive, we don't want negative. So from here too we lost, from here we lost, but from here we gain, because from here you are starting generate questions. I can also go to the counting. So the counting, I just need to do like this. I just need to drag this, and also this, drag this, and drag this. Now the total change is that now view of the change that all the department compared to 2019 and 2020, the country had lost 10,000 we aid in our budget. Now this is because this was due because of the Department of Municipality and the whole department and the city council, and then the community as well. The policy department have spent more money compared to last year. Now this is how journalists survive to do a youth debate, because they got data and then they did the statistic, and they are able to prove whatever they say is true. And when you go check it, you're gonna get correct. As less in your case, like if you are a journalist, you need to make sure this number and this department must be correct, so that when you calculate your statistic, you don't make a mistake. And when you go for debit, you can prove wrong what where is a mistake and then what need to be done. And from Excel, you can generate ideas and then say, okay, we can do this to improve the country or whatever. Now this was a change. Now I'm gonna calculate percent now, because mostly when you discuss using numbers can confuse you. I prefer use a percent. So what you do, I'm just gonna say equal divide by the face year, which is the face year is this one. So I want to compare the change that happening to last year. Say okay. Now the reason why I'm getting a percent here, it's because go to home, I change my cell, all this cell here. I'm gonna highlight this and then say percentage. Now compared to 2019 and 2020, the Department of Education have saved 53% of the money of the budget that we supply them, because in 2019 we spend more money, but in 2020 we spend less money, and that's why we save 53%. So this shows that a good symbol. So as discussed previously, I'm just gonna hold here and then drag here, and then you will have everything from the bottom. So if I drag it, let me go to total. Now we can discuss about the government, the total. I just drag this. Okay, there, yeah, I'm just here. There's nothing inside here. Now I can say the entire budget of the 2 years, compare the old year and the new year, we actually only lost negative 0.27%, which is not too much. It's not really huge, because, but at least I can say it's fun. There were some loss on some department budget, like the municipality. We actually lost too much money. So we can now decide now here. So how can we prove 2021? We can look at our year where things were wrong. So if I look at Department of Education, they were fun. So I can say, no, I don't think we must change Department of Education, because the leadership is good, and then they spend money they spend 2020 is less, and I think they're doing well. So we mustn't touch it. And fire department, yes, we can touch, but not really. They didn't even lose too much money. Maybe they must just figure out, find some strategy, some new strategy to fix what they did wrong. But when you come to municipality, we have to look at. We have to say, no, something wrong. Compared to last year, the change is too huge. They actually lost 58% of the budget compared to the 2019-2020. So in 2021, we want them to improve, to check out where the money is going, why they lost too much money, because we can't have too much gap, like almost like half of the money lost compared to the preview. Now that's how journalists can debate and discuss and then prove wrong the government or the leadership, or any person make a mistake based on whatever statistic you are doing. You can do a statistic of murder, of criminality, of police, of everything. The only thing you need to do is to create your data, and then create your statistic and numbering, and then calculate the change, and then calculate the percent, and from here you can discuss. You can go discuss a percent. I can so discuss with this, but mostly it's nice with percent, where I can say, okay, we actually lost money on this because of this, because from here I can see where the government is doing bad. And then now, mostly to fix something, you have to target the places where you see that is the government losing money. Even in the company. So if you do the statistic for the company, you can call them as like in the case for AYI, we got services and we got to costs. I can write costs here, different type of costs, and different type of services. And I look at how much money we make those services, each services last year, and how much money we make to 20. And then I can see now here where do we make money and where do we lose money. So at the end of the day, we see now why do we lose too much money, like on this type of services. Maybe the service was poor, maybe the marketing was poor, or maybe there was a problem. Okay, that's how Excel help you to do statistic. Now I'm gonna do quick this part to finalize. Now on this one here, the change will be different because this is the revenue. So the revenue mean we expect more compared to this. So I'm gonna use this number negative to subtract this one, a new number. So I'm gonna say equal a new number subtract to the previous year. So I want to say how much money do you make this year? Did you make more money last year? Because on this one, we're spending. So we're budget, we're giving money away. So we need to save here. But here, how much money we gain? Did you gain more money or we lose more money? So now I swap now. This change here, I'm looking at the first year and the previous year. How much money we lose on the previous year and on the second year. And show us on which department did well, on which department well. But now here, I want to see now here, how much money do we make more money compared last year? So I use this, the first one, and then subtract to the previous one. So I'm going to highlight this and then drag down to have everything. So from here, there's nothing here. I'm just going to delete here. In case it's not sure, click here. Double check your formula in the formula bar to make sure it's highlighted the right places. Now this is mustn't be in range because it's a number. So I'm gonna go to my home tab and then change these two numbers. Okay, general numbers, because only have 6 departments. Now look at now here. The change already shows me that we didn't make money. I can say now, do you see? We lost money on the budget. And we also lost money, there's no income. Compare the last year and this year, the income is there's no money. So I will come here, calculate the percent now here. I'm gonna say equal, I'm gonna say this. Now it's gonna be different. I'm gonna solve divide, I'm gonna take the new one and then solve divide and then on the previous one. So we got 57%, I'm gonna highlight this and drag this one. I can be proud of licensed income. So which means the government on 2020 have released a lot of license. A lot of people get license. Now for me here, as a journalist, you can do statistics, you can write a story. I say only 2020, let's say I'm in South Africa, you can say now here, South Africa release thousands of license because the statistics show us that there was a huge income. Now that means if you have a huge income, there must be huge demand, and that means huge people get more license on this year. You can estimate or do other statistics. There's other formula which is we call logical, which we'll discuss on the coming video, where you can create more statistics and then generate more questions. And then at the end of the day, what you want to do, you want to see the result. How much the government, I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to go to home and then I put it, I like a little bit color to make it different. Now you can see here the difference between the 2019-2020, the income, the government have lost 5% of income. So which means the previous year income was more stronger, was more than 2020. But it's not really a lot because the difference is not too much. So which means in 2021, if you work hard, you can make more money compared to this one. So now for me here, what you do, then you come look at who caused this. What was the cause for us not to make more money, to lose this money, minus 5%. We're gonna go on the statistic and look at like minus 57 interest fee. So in interest fee, we didn't make money. Maybe the interest was too less, or maybe whatever, and then start discussing. So what must we do? Must make more money, but that's gonna work for our people. It's not gonna affect them for interest. Maybe it's gonna affect them. No, just leave that place. So that's how they create debit. Let's look at the second loss of our income. Export revenue. Now export revenue will have lost minus 55% compared to 2019 to 2020. But it's too much. So what must we do? Must we increase the fees of revenue, or because there was a border was closed in 2020? Now you can start to realize now, yeah, if let's say this was a real life, I can understand why we lost minus 5%, because if you look at 2020 2020 year was the most worst year in the world because there was a corona and all the border, everything was closed down. Now this makes sense the government to lose money. So from this case, you can't blame the government because the whole world was in trouble. So we even as if, let's say I'm a journalist, I'll be proud to impress the leadership because losing minus 1.5, minus 5% is too small compared to what we face on 2020. Because there was lockdown, there was closed down, the company closed down, but the company still make, the country still make income closer to last year, 2019, which was a normal year. Now that proved that the government's doing well. So which means if in 2021, if you work harder, we can do better than that. Now this is how you compare this. This is how you see the change. Now that's how journalists work. So from here, you start writing question. Why? I can go to another sheet, or maybe just come to this sheet and ask question. And they say why. I can say why the government lost 0.27% of budget 2020 compare to 2019. Now this is how you're gonna form the question. I can come here and answer questions. The reason why, because some of the departments were not performing well. They were spending more money last year compared to 2019. Maybe which department, like education department, no, like a municipality. So now the debate comes because journalists, as a journalist, you need to pay attention and respect people because people will ask you questions and then you get lost and then now people will be you've been troubled because you're giving people information. You need to be accurate. Don't speak something you don't know. Don't speak by feeling or because of you by fanaticism. You're gonna be in trouble. If you put feeling as a journalist, you'll always be in trouble. So speak of argument to prove. So I can say like yes, the reason why the government was 7 because there was maybe a corona, but except the corona, the municipality didn't work properly because they lost 58%. Now this is normal. It must affect the government. So on my point of view, on 2021, if we fix the budget for municipality, I think we will save much money. We're not going to lose that money. There's something on income. Why the government lost 5% of income? 5% of income. Yes, the reason why I lost 5%, there may be many reasons. Because some departments do well, like in the case of license department, have done well because we have actually make more than 100% of income. But if you look at the interest fees and then the export revenue, we then make much money. That can be, we can explain them because there was lockdown or this, and you can compare 2020 and 2019. Okay, and that's the reason. But let's give them a chance. Let's look at this year, 2021, to see because some of the border open and things are changing now. Then we can judge it. But at the moment, it makes sense. And why must we judge the government? Because they only lost 5% compared to last year. Now, this is how you can defend yourself on debate as a journalist, even as a politician. Excel can help you to generate questions, to prove. So when people, in the case when I show people here, what you do, because you don't want to give people a number like this, you can highlight this and then print a chart. Print a chart and print this chart where you can show people or show the government or show people who doubting why the income. I can come here and change this, say income, click here and I say 2019 verse 2020, enter. Now I'm just showing like now look at the 2 years. 2019 it's the blue one and 2020 it is the orange one. Now the change is a gray and then in the yellow one it is a percent. So if you look at here on this interest fee here, the biggest piece here it's the blue one. So I can say 2019 will make more money compared to 2020. The same thing here, the same thing here. So the only place who make much money on 2020 is this one. You can see the orange is bigger compared to the other color. Now this is make easy to explain to people, because I can explain this to you, to someone who doesn't know much about what I'm talking about. Compare when you show number like this or when you're talking, because as a journalist, when you're speaking, you can explain properly. But if you give someone this statistic, it's a bit difficult for them to read. Now that is a benefit for Excel. I believe you understand why Excel is very important in your life, because example I did, it's just a simple example for data journalist. But if you work yourself, there's a many way and there's a many things and use Excel and generate statistic, generate chart, everything. Like I can come, lastly I can highlight here, and then maybe also insert export, then use this chart and show people the two charts, the budget and then the income. So now this is how Excel become very excited, and why you need to learn Excel, because with Excel you can do a lot of things. Thanks so much for watching this video. See you for next video. Please watch video 3. And
the pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing